Hello Coach Changemakers, welcome back. I'm going to give you a quick tutorial video. This is an additional bonus video to the weekly recording because I want to run through using the third-party tool called BeLive.tv. Now hopefully you guys have all joined up and created your free account. That was one of the pre-work tasks for you to do. Now this is going to be a personal choice whether you choose to use this service or not. There's a free level account and then there's paid level accounts. But for the free account, you get 2 20-minute broadcasts per week, totally free forever. So I think it's highly worthwhile trying this out. It just gives you a little bit more of a professional edge on your videos because you can do things like share the screen comments from your viewers as they happen, and you can create a little bit of branding around it. It just gives you a little title bar across the bottom of your screen where you can put your topic for the day or your episode name or show name, whatever you choose to put in there. So I think that it adds that little edge of polish, and if you can do that for free, why not? So I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on how to use this. So if you've already created your account, you'll see that when you log into BeLive.tv, it'll bring you to this screen. So this is the opening screen. You'll see, your account information up the top here. And then all you do to get started is click on the big red button that says Start Broadcasting. So it's fairly simple. So we're going to click on that. It takes you to the next screen and it asks you to choose from one of 3 different types of broadcasts. So I'll explain briefly what each of these are. You've got your solo broadcast, which is probably what you'll start with and use most often. That's where it's just you talking to the screen, sharing information with your audience. So that's the most common type. Then you've got the interview one, which is fairly self-explanatory. If you're going to do an interview with somebody, you would choose that one so that you can invite one other person into your broadcast. Then you've also got talk show. That one's kind of cool because you can have up to 3 guests and it's a bit more like a panel discussion. The other time you would use that is if you want to do a screen share and be able to alternate backwards and forwards between you on video or sharing your screen. So that can be really useful if you're doing demonstration type videos or tutorial type videos. It's incredibly useful for that. So that would be a good option for that. So today I'm just going to show you how to create the solo. So you just click on that button that says solo. It takes you over to the next screen here, and it's going to ask you to fill in some details about what kind of things you're going to be talking about and when you want to broadcast this. So the first decision to make is where you're going to do your live broadcast. And you've got the option of doing it either on your personal Facebook profile, on your business page on Facebook, or in your Facebook group if you have one. So BeLive.tv is linked with your Facebook account. So it doesn't broadcast to Twitter or Instagram or anywhere else. It's just for Facebook, okay? So just choose where you want to broadcast this. Okay, I am going to go with a group I manage for this purpose. And then you pop down to the next question here and it's going to give you a list of choices for things that you manage. So I've got a test group set up here called the community group, which is just for this purpose so I can actually show you how this works. So I'll choose that one, but it will show you whichever pages you have admin access to and whichever groups. Okay, so now there's an option here. It's telling me important commenter details are not available in groups. So Facebook has made some changes where you won't be able to see a lot of the time who's actually leaving the comments as you are going live. So that's just something to be aware of. That may change over time. Okay, so this down here where it says text to share with the broadcast is basically your description. So it will actually put this in the post that it's going to create and put in your Facebook account. So what you would put in here is the name of your show. So my talk show number 1. We'll say this is the pilot episode, and then I'm going to put here what we're talking about. So it might be how to broadcast live on Facebook. Okay, now the other important thing you would want to put in here is to reinforce your call to action. So you know that we talked about calls to action on the end of your video, but this is another opportunity to reinforce whatever that call to action is. So let's go with a simple one, and it can just be if you like the info in I can't talk while I'm talking to you guys because it's like someone's watching over my shoulder. Okay, if you like the information in this video, please share. Okay, so that's a simple call to action. But of course, it could also be a link to a page on your website or a link to the download page for your free opt-in product to build your list. Whatever your call to action is on the video, reinforce it by having the same call to action here in the description. Okay, so we'll go with that. Now, the thing that I like about using a service like BeLive.tv is this option here where you can create a scheduled Facebook live broadcast. The advantage of doing this, of course, is that you're giving people notice that you're planning to go live. So hopefully you will create some interest before the live broadcast. So this is a useful option because what will happen is we'll tell it a day and a time, and then BeLive.tv on your behalf will create a post on your page or group or profile, whatever you've said, wherever you've chosen to go live. It will create a post on there to say, hey, this person is planning to go live on this date and time. Would you like to be notified? And there's an option there for someone to be notified, which is great, so they don't forget. So that is the advantage of using a service like this over doing what we call native posting to Facebook, which is just broadcasting live directly from Facebook itself. So totally up to you. You can totally start on Facebook Live native broadcasting and just use their tools, but it won't give you things like sharing screen comments and putting nice little banners across the bottom with your topic, for example. And the other advantage I think of using those is that when you're finished with your live broadcast, and this is a replay that people might be catching and they're scrolling through their news feed, a lot of people don't have the sound turned on, so you need to give them some way to know what you're talking about without the sound on first. And if you've got that little banner across the bottom of your image and you've got the topic that you're speaking about on that episode, it can give people a really easy way to decide if they want to actually turn the sound on and listen to what you're saying or just keep scrolling past you in the news feed. So there are a couple of advantages to using a service like this. So I'll show you the scheduled post option. So we're going to click that box. Then we come down here, we're just going to choose whatever date it is. I'm going to choose the 7th of June. I'll leave it at 3:45, but obviously you would decide on the time based on your Facebook analytics and looking at when most of your followers are going to be online, so you can get the best bang for your buck in that sense. Okay, so then you would just put your email address in there so it can send you a reminder that, you know, your show is going live at this time and this date. And I'll click over here and show you quickly. There's a button down here called Add Your Branding. So this is, you'd only do this once when you first come in, and this will preview what it's going to look like. So I've chosen my brand colors here, but if you want to do that, you'll click over here to where it says brand colors and then actually put in the hex values or the, you know, whatever RGB values, whichever way you use it. You would nominate your brand colors here, and then it will show you on the screen what that's going to look like. So you can choose the text color as well. If you want to add a logo, you can upload that here, and then you click Save Branding when you're done, and it will add that to every broadcast. So now we're going to click on this one that says Create Broadcast because you've filled in all that information, and it's going to take us over to the next screen. Okay, you can hear lots of binging going off there because what's happening is it's sending me a message via Facebook Messenger to say to me, you have scheduled a live broadcast for this day and time. Here is the link to go and manage that broadcast. So you don't have to leave this screen open for the next 3 days. You can click on the link in your Messenger message. I will go over to Facebook here and show you what, so here we go. This is the message that you get. So you click on that link in your Messenger to go back to the studio. So you don't have to leave that tab open for the next few days. So I'm just going to close that down. The other thing it does is you can see the post that it creates here. And this is another one I set up previously to show you, but this is what the post looks like. So it shows that you are planning to go live on the 7th of June at 3:30 p.m. And if people want to, they can click here to get a reminder, and that's very, very useful because, like I said, it should build interest and anticipation before you even go live. So hopefully people will be signing up to get those reminders. So that's the advantage. Anyway, so that's what it looks like from that end. Let's go back over here. So when the time comes and you're going to do your live broadcast, you'll click on Finish here, and you can connect the camera straight away, or you can click in here to settings if you've got several different cameras. Now, hello, you can see me here. I have no makeup done, no face on today, no hair done, no nothing. I'm filming this on a Sunday afternoon, so please excuse how I look, but that's real life for you. But you've got a choice here of, I have a dedicated webcam as well as my built-in laptop camera, so I've got a choice. So it totally depends. You might just be using this on your laptop and then it won't have a choice. It'll just have the default camera. Same with microphones. If you've got dedicated ones, you can choose whichever ones you want and then save the changes if you want that to be the default setup for every video. Okay, so you can pop in there. Otherwise, you can just go ahead and connect the camera, which we will do. And as I said, please excuse how I look because it's Sunday afternoon and I've been out. Oh, look, this hair's beautiful. Okay, forget that. All right, so what we would put here is we would put our topic for the day. So what did we say it was? How to broadcast live from Facebook. And then you click show next to it and you can see that in the preview over here, it's going to pop up and show you exactly where that's going to be. And this is where you can come and, you know, move your screen around, play with your camera, work out the angle, how close you are. You fix all of that up before you go live, but you can preview exactly what it's going to look like. And down here in this section is the live comments. So when you're broadcasting, you can actually see the comments feeding up in a little feed here. And there's always a button next to each one that says show. So you can actually click on it. I'll show you how that works. And see up here, and it doesn't appear on your face like that. It will actually be the way it is in the preview screen over here. So it replaces your banner with the topic with the comment, which is a really nice feature. If you've got people commenting as you go, you can pop their comments up on the screen for everybody to see. So it's a nice feature to have, and it's only available by using a third-party service like this. So you can't get this if you're broadcasting native, which means directly from Facebook itself. And when you're done with that comment, you come back down here and click on the hide button and it disappears. Okay. You'll note though that, however, that your banner with the topic has also disappeared, which isn't a major thing. It's just something to be aware of. Okay. So what happens is you've got a countdown timer here. So I'm not going to be able to show you actually going live because we've put it for several days in the future, but it's super easy. When the time comes and this counts down to 0, this button up here that currently is grayed out will actually highlight. It says start broadcast. You click on that. A little dialog box will appear over here on the larger part of the screen and you'll click start broadcast again. It will give you the countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and then you are live. So then, you know, you do all the things. You look directly at your camera, make sure that the camera is placed at eye height or just above, because that means that you're looking up and out at your audience. And if you're looking directly at the black dot in the middle of the camera, you're making beautiful eye contact with your audience. So that's really important. I would recommend filming in landscape, which is just means wide instead of tall, which is portrait. It is a personal choice, but I feel like landscape is more versatile. So for example, if you want to repurpose these videos to YouTube later on, I would recommend filming in landscape because it just looks and works better on YouTube. The advantage of filming in portrait is that a lot of people do view these on their phones, which means they'll get a better, you know, it fills the screen better. Obviously, if you're in portrait, they don't have to turn the screen to get the bigger picture. Totally personal, up to you. However, if you choose to use BeLive.tv and you film from your laptop, it automatically films in landscape. So that's something to be aware of. But BeLive.tv is available as an app on your phone, so you can film from your phone as well. Okay, those are the quick tips. Oh, I will give you a couple of other tips while we're here. That would be backgrounds. You can see all I've done is found a piece of wall in my office. I normally have this picture here hanging up so that it has nice positive sayings because that's part of my branding. It suits my branding colors, which are black, white, and red. It's a black and white background. So those are just little things to think of. But honestly, just find somewhere that isn't a super big mess in your house, that's not going to have a big mess behind you. And other than that, don't think too much about the background, because I don't want this to become a thing that's going to stop you because you're trying to find the perfect place to film from. There isn't a perfect place and it doesn't matter. Just start where you are. So find a piece of wall or go sit in the garden and find a nice tree to film in front of. Whatever it is, just find some background that you like, that's somewhere around, that doesn't involve you having to buy anything or do anything, because I don't want this to become another reason for you not to get started on live. So just remember lighting on your face. So whether you've got artificial or natural light, make sure it's coming from in front of you and shining on your face, not from behind you. Make sure the camera is here or above. And, you know, find some reasonable background. That's it. Those are the only 3 things you have to remember, and then you're ready to go. So I want to start seeing your lives out there, and this is how easy it is to do something with BeLive.tv. So I hope this has been useful for you. And I will see you back here next week for another recorded class. And if you have any questions about this, bring them to the live call that we'll be having on Wednesday, and I'll happily answer all of your questions then. Okay?